Okay, I think we're live. I think. So, hello folks. Welcome back to the first live stream on this channel in like God knows how long. It's warm here. Så fan. Tack gäst och ber. So we are live. This is like the first live on my channel or on this channel in like what? I don't know. Maybe like I don't actually know when the last time I was live on this channel was. Do I have? Oh well, I have this other phone I can use to check that, I guess. Granted, I don't have YouTube Studio on here, but I have YouTube on here nonetheless. I should be logged in here. View and then the not view channel. Ah, wrong shit. Taking IRL.
Is this? No, this isn't the level that I think that does it. It's
So view channel.
Is it this tile? Is it D3? It might be D3.
Live. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, last time I was live, that was 9 months ago when we put together my like new PFSense box or whatever. As you can tell, I don't really stream that much on YouTube really. I mainly stream on Twitch. Really, but yeah, my last stream on this channel was 9 months ago when we put together a new PFSense box, which is chilling in the hallway. You guys will have seen videos on that. Coming out soon. Or no, they are out already. Yeah, they're already out. And then the last one before that was 2 years ago. Rather said 16th of September 21. Then we were like rewiring my like entire setup in my old apartment. So I do have some streams from my old apartment in here, but yeah, not really much live. Can I like pull up this live? Or do I need to go there? Ah, okay, so it's fancy shit. Okay, so it broke. It's fancy shit. Chat filter. So okay. So then it just shows up as like. Okay, it shows up like that. Okay. Good shit. Then I guess I can put this phone over here to have a second monitor. Oh. So yes, we are back. We're living on goddamn Degen hours. It's 2 AM. I woke up at like what? 1 AM? Yeah, well, I went to sleep at like 4:30 PM. And then I was awake at like 10 to go piss, and then went to sleep again and woke up now at 1 AM. So I've been awake for like an hour. Got Krizuna in the background here. Go check her out on Twitch if you haven't. Just sitting here. Krizuna just chilling. Oh my god. yeah, my recording setup right now, or my streaming setup right now, is not great. Basically, I need to have my charger in, so you guys are balancing on a screw box and my GoPro, so good shit. I could probably have live stream directly from my GoPro, but I've tried to do that before, and yeah, we could say the GoPro Quick app does not like that, so good shit. So thought I'd just go live, just to kind of have some coffee with you guys, just kind of talk. Since I haven't really done a live here in a while, and really for now I don't really have much going on. Basically what this is going to be, it's going to be kind of an update stream, kind of, so yeah, so basically don't really have much updates currently as from the last video. I don't even remember the last video, what was even the last video? Question of the day.
Why do the British exist, or why do you have to be British, or God, I hate the British right now. Always shooting into connects.
The last video was the effects thing, okay. So yeah, I don't really have much updates. I did finish up recording and editing most of the videos I did on the X32 Compact. Now I am in contact with the headmaster of my elementary school, since we are pretty good friends privately as well. Like off of school stuff, like we're good friends generally, and I've been talking with him about borrowing the auditorium at my elementary school, or my old elementary school, whatever way you want to put it, because they do have an X32 Compact as well, and I was gonna rent a DL32 from Trondheim Lyd, but the renting price was just a little bit high for me, and since we know ourselves, and since we are pretty good friends, I get to borrow the auditorium, or so I hope at least, borrow the auditorium for free, because I mean it is a school after all. So then the plan is to just bring my X32 Compact there, and then demonstrate the AS50 there, because I can use the X32C, the older one, as a stage box of some sort. It's still going to count as an expandability. And what that's also going to allow me to do is demonstrate the monitor console and front of house console, where I can run 16 channels of audio to front of house over Snake, but then I can say pull in the other 16 channels on the monitor console and have the front of house console remotely adjust the gain of those channels from front of house, and lock monitor console out from adjusting the gain on those, but only adjust the trim of those channels. So yeah, like then I can demonstrate that also. That's happening. Other thing that's happening, not really much. I mean, have I released that video yet? I don't think I have released that video yet, but I mean, anywho, there's no point really hiding it anymore. It's pretty certain, or pretty likely, that I will have to find a new apartment by the 30th of November this year, because my 3-year lease contract goes out now 30th of November, and yeah, we can say since I'm renting from the municipal, the chances of me getting that contract lease extension, because I already applied, but they were already kind of hesitant to reapply, because technically speaking, this technically is like a special needs apartment, technically speaking, or special needs like apartment rent place, but I haven't really been on the special needs list because I don't really have the problems that I had before. Really, I never really had them when I moved out, but it was because the jurisdiction I was under back then, with the place I lived before, it was like they said I had, the right for municipal apartment, whatever, whatnot. So we ended up just applying for it anyway, and I ended up here. And here is the thing: I could have not done that and just, gotten my own apartment immediately, but it was easier to just apply for an apartment here than to start looking for my own apartment back 3 years ago. So yeah, but I'm probably not that lucky this time. I was hoping to get a contract extension until March, but I doubt that'll happen. I doubt so. So because of that, there's probably going to be a lot of move out vlogs in November. I'm just hoping that Oscar is going to be available because yeah, I need the big car. And I mean, even with my car, if I get that, that trailer hitch stuff installed, even if I get that installed on my car before that time, which I probably will, I doubt, even though I'm getting my special exempt, probably, well, if I haven't gotten it yet today, then I'll probably get it throughout the week. If not, I need to contact them about that paper. Even though I have that, I can pretty much apply for a license immediately because of the body it's going to take for all the driving hours and stuff I need separately from the general, like, practice driving training. So like the stuff you need to go through no matter how much you've practiced drive for like 3 years. I'm still gonna need to I'll doubt I'll have a license by November. So even though I could probably practice drive a trailer, I'm gonna need to have someone which has a license to lease that trailer anyways, because you need to have a license to lease the trailer. And depending on what people I have available to actually help me with that, it's probably gonna have to be Oscar that's gonna have to rent that trailer, and then because there's no way in hell we're getting most, like, I can pack a lot into a sedan. Trust me, I've packed a lot into a sedan, but even with Oscar's station wagon XC90, yeah, we're gonna need a trailer for some of this stuff, either that or a transport van. There's just no way in heck we'll be able to fit all of this stuff into a regular station wagon. So yeah, November is gonna be hectic. It is. It's gonna be very hectic. It is. But by any luck, I managed to find something and sort something out by the beginning of November and get a deal sorted out with the new place if so. And if I can, then if I'm lucky, we can move everything out from here and start moving shit into the new apartment slowly but surely and have like a month on us to do that. And then we and then when it comes around the time there, my lease runs up, which is the 30th of November. If I'm able to make the lease contract stuff work out, then maybe I can do stuff. I pay my last lease for this apartment the 20th of November, and then I start paying on my new lease, so my new contract for my new place, the 20th of December. That would be very ideal, because then I don't have overlapping bills for like 2 different apartments, whatnot. Because I would be kind of a shitty situation if that was the case. Oh. So yeah, so that's really the update as far as the apartment situation and stuff. Really. As far as, you know, other general IRL updates, as I said, I have gotten my special exam for my driver's license stuff. So that is on the way, so I should have that digitally, a PDF, eventually throughout this week, and then I can apply for that, and then regardless, it's all really gonna go down to money in the end. For all the mandatory hours I need with the driving school and stuff. I mean, I have practice driven for like 3 years. You know, as far as driving goes, I'm doing just fine. It's not really anything I need to practice on that way, or so at least everybody I have been practice driving with says. But yeah, you still have the mandatory stuff you need for, you know, license. You got the basic course, so that it's going to depend, because usually your first hour at driving school is like an evaluation hour where they evaluate how are you actually doing on your driving, and depending on how that goes and if they're satisfactory when it comes to that, then it's, you know, you may need more, you may need less, and probably a lot of the basic stuff I can probably skip right past. But you still have the mandatory stuff you need, like city driving, long driving, passing by people while driving, and the slippery, the winter course, the ice course, slippery course. Those are at least 4 mandatory sessions you need. And then on top of that comes renting of car and stuff like that. Now, here is the thing, depending on this depends from driver school to driver school. Some driver schools will allow you to use your own car to do the practice driving, depending on, you know, what you're taking. Now, certain courses, I believe you can take with automatic, even though you're driving up to manual, because some things, if you have a manual or not, won't really matter, like passing by someone or long driving and, you know, stuff like that. City driving, it's probably gonna matter a bit because you're gonna be shifting a lot if you're in the manual, but long driving, passing by someone while driving, the slippery course, at least those 3 I believe it doesn't really matter, and I believe you can use your own car for that, I believe. So I gotta check up on that, but anywho, we gotta see how all that goes. First I gotta get my special exempt in the mail first, or on email first, my PDF, and then I gotta send that in, and then we gotta see how all that is gonna work out. So yeah.
Holy shit. It's even slower than everything we did so far.
Oh. So to go over to more like car updates and stuff, really, not much to say about that. I have a video coming where we took well, I'd call it bodge fixed, but we took and sanded down and kind of re-spray painted my car a bit with this like car repair lacquer whatnot. I didn't manage to match the color. It's close, but it's a little mismatched in color, but really doesn't really matter because the entire car is gonna get sanded down and repainted before we put an Natasha wrap on it anyways. So it's just a temporary fix really. Since I'm planning to keep that car for a while, even though getting a bigger car would be ideal. If I can get a trailer hitch on it and get myself a trailer, then it's not really the end of the world. As long as I have a trailer, preferably a trailer which has a door and roof and stuff that I can put like audio equipment inside or big things inside. If I'm having very big things I'm transporting and stuff, then really it doesn't matter if I have a sedan or not. Really, because, you know, I mean, here is the thing, XC90s, they don't go for that expensive right now, really, they don't. They are pretty cheap, and I can probably get around 20 grand for that car if I sell it off now. But here is the thing, I've already put a fair amount of effort into the car, and here is the thing. Now don't get me wrong, you can put this Tasha wrap on anything, just don't worry about it. Like you can put the Tasha wrap on anything, but personally for me, I prefer having it on a more long, flat car rather than a, chunky, bulky car. The end plan, really, the end plan, the dream car I really do want is a Chevy Camaro, one of the 2021 models. The thing is just that in the US, if you order a Camaro in the US, it's 30,000. There you go, have yourself a Camaro. If you want that imported to Norway, don't even get me started. You're looking at least like $1 million, $1.5 million. It's insane what Norway takes for import on cars from like the US. Like import from like Germany or like the US or the Germany or Sweden or something, then it's not too bad. But import from anything outside of Europe, it's insane. So we'll see how all that works out. But that's a future plan, way down in the future. But for now, my S80 sedan will do. But yeah, as far as the update, we did tear into my steering wheel column and we figured out the steering wheel angle sensor, it's shot, so that's gotta get replaced. As far as other things, my shock absorbers, we already know those are pretty much shot. They work, but they're just, yeah, they don't really have much shock absorption left in them, so yeah, so we'll probably get those replaced eventually, and then the custom frame trailer hitch, which we'll install on it eventually. Of course, we gotta run a completely new wiring harness for the plug, but most of the stuff for the plug is pretty straightforward because a lot of it is lighting, which can just be wired directly into the existing lighting harness that's already in the car, so that's pretty easy to sort out. There's only a few things that actually need to go all the way forward. So yes, that's going to be an easy fix. Other than that, there really ain't much besides from needing new summer tires, which is going to set me back like another $4,000. So that's great. But other than that, as far as the car goes, we're looking semi-decent. Obviously we have stuff with the stereo to do, like running new speaker wires, getting new speakers and stuff. My main priority right now, as far as the audio in the car, is getting a amplifier for my speakers and running new speaker wires. The speakers, for now, it's not the end of the world. The Volvo speakers, they are pretty good. I will give it that. For its time when the car was produced, the Volvo speakers aren't that bad, really. So I'll probably be keeping those speakers in for now, but I will be running new speaker wires back because my head unit, even though the Pioneer, the SDH 160 unit is a pretty decent unit, it is struggling with running those. And with me having a separate amp, I can also do more dedicated amplification for each side, and I can balance them out more. And the main problem with the integrated head unit is that I like to run D-bass setting on like medium or whatnot in the head unit. And that means that even though I have a crossover set to 125 Hz on my speakers in the door, although normally I'd prefer to have them at more like 80 to 100, because of that, it keeps overdriving the low end of the my speakers in the door, even though I have a crossover set. So getting those onto its own amplifier will mean I can set a hard crossover at 120 or 100 Hz and manually adjust the amplification of my speakers, which would be ideal. And then of course later on down the line, the plan is to swap out the speakers with a set of Pioneers. Probably. I was thinking about Ground Zero because I do have a Ground Zero sub, but it will probably be Pioneer speakers. I like my Pioneer stuff. Not to say Ground Zero ain't bad. I have their subwoofers in the back and they sound phenomenal. But yeah, Pioneer for the win. So yeah, so if you didn't know, you will have seen videos on it. But I'm running the Pioneer SPH 160 head unit. I was planning to go for the 360, but they don't have it on Bilradio Specialisten anymore. And the other places are like charging 6 grand for it. When I could get it on Bilradio Specialisten for like 4k when it was on deal. Norwegian krone that is. So because of that, I went with the Pioneer 160. And I mean, here is the thing. I don't really care that much for wireless Android Auto. It's like, the only time I use Android Auto is if I'm going very far or going to a place where I don't know where to drive. Most of the time, most of the places where I drive, where I'm driving with someone or well, when I get a license, that is, I know where I'm driving, so I don't need a GPS or anything like that. So then I just have the normal Bluetooth open. So in general terms, oh my god. Okay, how is my hair splitted here? I don't know. My hair, I need to cut my hair again. So yeah. So that's really where we are as far as the car. Oh wow, yeah. So that's the head unit, and then I'm running a GZA 1.700 Ground Zero amp for my subwoofers. 2 Ground Zero, I don't remember the subwoofers off the top of my head, but it's 2 Ground Zero subwoofers. They're ran in 1 ohm config. Don't remember exactly how much wattage I can push out of them, but yeah, I have video from last year, well, I guess it was in August, so I guess it would technically be last summer, of us installing that. I believe it was in August, if not it was in September, I don't remember. Anywho, it was before I went to Stavanger, or Sandnes. It was, but I am really hoping to give you guys some Stavanger vlogs, because I do want to head down there now in either late September or October, even though I do have this whole moving shit happening. So yeah, because you guys probably know it, because I have made videos on it, but basically my girlfriend Kat, she lives down in Stavanger because she moved back down to Stavanger when she was done at the other place, the same apartment that I was living in, to be a little bit more with the family and stuff. And yeah, because of that, she's living down there, so she comes up here from time to time, and then I tend to come down in autumn down to Stavanger, and I really enjoy being in Sandnes. This is a nice city, especially at night. It's pretty comfy and cozy, and the nice thing about down there during the night is that they actually have a 24/7 open shop not that far from here. On Monday to Friday, or Monday through Saturday, you have the regular store, which is on the center, and then you have beside there you have a small store which is open during the night, which you can get into with the Code by Me app, and that's also and then on Sunday it's a Sunday open store, and then it's closed on the night because they're like restocking or whatever. So that's really nice if you're like in the middle of the night and you want to grab a snack or something, you can head to that store and buy. I've actually had that here, especially for me that's like literal living on Degen hours. That would be pretty handy. I mean, granted, it's not a big store, so you won't have as big of a selection as you have on like the regular store, but they have food, they have basic snacks, they have sodas and stuff. It's like they have the basic shit you need to have a great time, so you know, it would be pretty handy. So I'm hoping to give you guys some vlogs down there. Luckily this time she's already settled into her apartment, unlike last time I came there, which was a bombarded mess with no internet, no nothing. Now we actually have internet down there, we have places to actually sit. If you go back and look at one of my videos from one of my first videos from that traveling vlog where we actually took the plane down there, you really remember when I first stepped into the apartment how of a mess it was down there. So yeah, so but this time we actually have space to sit and do shit there. Oh, I'll be back. Oh. So yes, I'm hoping to do that. I am as far as for upcoming videos, really, you guys will hear it in the update video because I said it in the update video, but there really won't be much more big projects happening in this apartment. Really, the biggest project we have left to do is installing that speaker wire for the remote amplification stuff, those two last XLRs, and then running a piece of trunking over to this box. Well, this box, you can't even see the box. Over to that junction box for running 4mm PN conductors over to the cabinet. And that will really be the last big project like happening physically to the apartment. I mean, we may still have big projects generally, like stuff with the server rack or no computer stuff or like stuff like that. But as far as physical modifications to the apartment, it's just not really worth my time to try and do more. Like, you know, the PLC and stuff. I was gonna run, you know, heating to a wire from the PLC to the studio heater or living room heater, whatever you want to say. This is like pretty much studio / living room, whatever you want to call it, and one into the bedroom heater. But really, at this point, since it's so short time until, you know, I'll be moving anyways, it's just not really worth the time to then lay up wire for that oven and then the other oven and hook it up to the PLC. It's like, yeah, I'm running a trunking over there to pull power over there. So I mean, it's not that far to pull a trunking down there. So it's like I could do it, but it's like it's just extra wire. Loose P and N 4mm. It's like I can buy like a 25 meter, like just package the roll, or so I hope, and then just run loose conductors in tubing or a wire loom down to the cabinet and then wire that in, because that's kind of urgent. I want to get away from using this like random ass silicone insulated wire because it just can't take the current regular P and N 4mm. Granted, that is 1.5 mil, but 1.5 mil is supposed to be able to take up against like 15 amps. That one starts to heat up at 12. So really getting away from using that wire would be ideal. It would so yes, that's kind of urgent, but as far as the heaters go, it's not really urgent. I mean, whom am I kidding? None of my heaters are currently turned on. Like all my heaters are off, and even in November, October, November, it's like I have so much heat getting grabbed, and most of the stuff pushing out heat now has been moved out into the hallway. So really, it's the hallway that's the cookhouse currently. But still, just my main computer. My previous computer doesn't put out that much heat, but even my main computer is like, yeah. it pushes out a lot of heat, and its like thermal situation is not even great. It's like I'm using a Corsair H150i on a Threadripper 3960X. It's like it's just not covering the entire ship. And I know some people are going to freak out about this, but really my only choice here is going with an EK vector block. I haven't really found any other water block manufacturer which just support the Ryzen Threadripper 3000 gen. I just haven't really found any, which means Ryzen or EK vector block for Threadripper is really the only way I have to go. I know this entire ordeal happening with EK and like Asus or whatever. It's like, yeah, I know, and I mean, I do not like the current situation which is happening with them either, that like prices have gone so high, and also the entire situation with Asus and the like RMA and stuff and whatever. I haven't really gotten that updated on the situation or don't remember fully because it's been a while since, you know, there's really been big talk about like this whole thing with Asus and whatnot. But at least for me stuff has been working fine. So I'll probably continue to use Asus. Then as far as for the water block, I don't really have a choice other than EK because I haven't found any Threadripper blocks. But I do agree the prices could be better, but because of the whole manufacturing deal, it's like, what can you do? I mean, EK kind of dug themselves into the situation they kind of are in right now, so really, as much as, you know, we want the prices to come down for EK stuff, EK can't really bring down the stuff of their products because then they end up in bankruptcy. So it's like, yeah, it's not really a great situation for either EK themselves or the consumer. So as far as the Asus stuff, it's like, yeah, I don't really, obviously I'm not a fan of the stuff that's been happening with like their RMA stuff and whatever, but for me, their boards have been working fine, so I will still be using their products. As far as for the products being good in that sense, and I haven't personally had any problems with it, but I do not support the whole, you know, RMA bull crap or whatever that's been happening over at them. But anywho, my point is, cooling situation is not great. So that's something I want to get fixed. The faster the better, which is why I am hoping to. I don't know if it will happen here. Probably not because of the money involved. But after I move into my new apartment, there will probably be a system, a main workstation, water cooling video coming up on the channel. I don't know if I'll use hardline just straight off the bat or if I'll begin with softline and then upgrade to hardline eventually. I do want to do hardline, but I have some fancy shit I want to do with hardline. I do, and softline tubing is pretty cheap compared to PETG. And I do want to use PETG instead of PLA. I mean, here is the thing. PLA is great for, you know, practicing on stuff as far as bending goes, because PLA has the less chance, or PVC PLA. When you bend it, it has the less chance of, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, squishing at the bend you're making. Because you need more heat, longer time to actually make it ready to bend. Whereas with PETG, it bends faster. But the thing with PETG is that it's not considered a glass type of material, so it's a lot less brittle. So it's a lot more nicer to do in that regards. Yeah, so I'll probably be using PETG tubing when I do hardline. Probably. So yeah, so there will probably be a vlog on that, and that also reminds me I need to buy a Corsair like RGB wire kit or whatever, because my rear fan, because in my system I have technically 3 different types of fans. I got the ML Pros 120s, which is on the bottom of my radiator, or what would now be my inside of my radiator. I have what apparently is the regular ML 120s, the 1600 RPM versions on the outside and in the front of my case. And then I have my LL 120, which came from my which came from then, well, technically from my Graphite T760, which was my original case, and got put in the rear. And then now I have one LL120 in the rear of my previous machine. I have 2 A120s in the front. One of course here's like newer RGB fans in the front, and then I have and then my last LL120, I actually don't know where the hell went, because I know I have 2 of the regular, like 2 of the Corsair 140mm fans in the like sleeper PC, and then I have like another one as the exhaust, which is a 120, but I think that was the like Noctua 120 exhaust fan or whatever. So yeah, computer situation here is kind of all over the place. So yeah, so really I want to swap out all the fans in my main system to either ML Pro, the 26 RPM, 100 RPM ones. So that's going to be like 2 or 6. Yeah, it's going to be like 9, 10. When I get my dual radiator setup, that's going to be a lot more, because I'm doing push-pull on the rads, which really probably completely overkill, but whatever. Who doesn't like some fan RGB? So yeah, we're doing Apex, I say. So yeah, so that entire situation will have to be redone shit about. So yes, I have a lot of videos really coming up. I hope, especially when I move into my new apartment, then oh my god, there will probably be a few live streams happening then. Although I'll probably do those live streams through an actual camera, and then using my laptop, so that I can also record raw separately to put into storage and have it be a 16:9 stream instead of a per se 18:9. So yeah, so there will probably be a few streams when I move into my new apartment, generally doing sheet prepping the apartment, doing whatnot, but there will also be videos, whatnot, and then I guess we'll see how long time it takes me to get settled into my new apartment, since getting settled into this apartment took a solid half a year just to get to some standpoint of settled in. I mean, you can look at my moved in for months moving vlogs, as well as some of the other videos I took after those vlogs. It was just a chaos. So good shit. I don't be back here in my coffee. So yeah, do I really have any more updates to give you guys right now? I keep fucking having my coffee get cold because I'm not drinking it fast enough. Oh. So yeah, so that's that. As far as server stuff goes, I mean, what do I really say? I mean, the next time I get paid, get money, we will buy the last 4 rack rails, or the last 8 rack rails, server rack rails, and get those installed. I am thinking about removing the corner brackets in the front and the back, like where the actual rails sit, because I'm not too concerned about it. We're using like 6-inch screws, like 2 of them, to hold the whole thing together. So I'm not really concerned about it falling apart without those corner brackets. And then we'll install the rest, and then we'll move shit around a bit, and I'm going to try and get the rails for the 710. So probably just 420 rails, because 420 rails just fit 410 rails. For the time being, while we still have the 410 Neko Haven, the idea is to get rid of Neko Haven, or well, the current Neko Haven, and get the 420 to become Neko Haven 2, because the 410 is just, it's too loud, too little control. The 420s, they have so much more control to set, you know, custom temperature and fan settings and stuff like that. And yeah, they're just so much better than 410s. I mean, of course, the iDRAC card does help with that, and I do have iDRAC cards that I will be ordering if I pick up a 420 or something. But yeah, really 420s and potentially 720s, if I can find some 720s that's not too expensive, is really the way to go. I have a 710, and I will be honest, the 710 is not too bad. It's actually pretty quiet. But then again, the reason why it's pretty quiet is a mix of, well, it has a bigger chassis, so temperatures in there is better, and it has 90mm fans instead of 40mm fans, and it has one 90mm fan per row instead of 2 40mm fans strapped together. So it is in general a lot quieter because of the bigger fan diameter, so it does need to spin as fast to push more air. So I wouldn't mind picking up maybe another 720, but yeah, that's really where we are as far as servers go. I am thinking about picking up a general, just empty server chassis, something like that, because I do want to build a more custom built system to run Proxmox on, and then have Proxmox run all my like VMs and whatever for Plex and my Unify controller and maybe Home Assistant eventually, stuff like that. But because generally on Truna scale, I have gotten Plex and stuff to work now. I kind of got it to work because I managed to re-import my old boy. But I was trying, you guys will remember this before the summer. Was it before the summer? Yeah, I think it was before the summer. You guys remember I was trying to get my Plex stuff to work before the summer. But I just couldn't get it to cooperate on Truna's scale. I managed to get it to work eventually. How I got it to work, I actually do not know. It just suddenly started working. I was having issues with, I got the Plex VM to work, kind of, that I did. So I could access it on my local network, but I wasn't able to get the remote network to work. I don't know what I did, I did get that to work, because apparently specifying the port manually inside of, Plex whatnot, managed to get it to work again after I set my VM to run on the host network, my Docker or my app container to run on the host network. Which you would think would be the ideal, and here's the thing, I tried to do that initially when I set up the Plex VM, but when I initially set up the Plex, unless I went off of host network, then I got a web URL. So something funkier with Kubernetes or whatever, so really, since I wanna run Truna scale, on my NASes, although I am thinking about for maybe one of my other NASes to try Unraid instead, just to try something different than TrueNAS, just to see, because I want to try out using Unraid or maybe CentOS. I know CentOS will probably be what we will be running if I get a HL15 from 45 drives, because my idea is to get one of their home lab HL15s and use that as my archive storage. And have that in a 45 drives chassis, and then use my 710 and potentially my 420 as my editing stuff. Really, I'll maybe still keep the 720 for maybe expandability as far as archive and stuff, or if I get some other use for that. But I want to get an HL15 for 45 drives eventually to use for my archive, and then just chuck like 12 terabyte Iron Wolf NAS drives in there, and then just Iron Wolf Pro drives in there, and just smack a RAID C3 on there, so I can lose like 3 drives before data loss and call her a day. I think a RAID C5 is going to be plenty. A RAID C5. Well, a RAID C5 will definitely be plenty, but I think a RAID C3 will be plenty. Because, you know, having 3 drive failures at the same time, I doubt that will happen. I doubt so. So, unless somebody fucking went dropping the server. So, I'm not too concerned about it, really. I ain't. So yeah, that's the plan as far as servers. Really, as far as network, because we are talking about like 10 gig networking and stuff, I have found a MikroTik SFP Plus switch for like 5 grand Norwegian krone, so about like 480 US dollars on Amazon, which has 16 SFP plus 10 gig ports. I don't know if these can negotiate, but it doesn't really matter. So my idea is pick up one of those, and then that will land in between because I got 2 switches currently in the rack. I got my regular Netgear GS728TP PoE switch 1 gig, which also have 4 SFP 1 gig Gibic SFP ports. Then I have an empty slot, and then I have my 3-com, like random ass 100 megabit switch, which is currently doing IPMI stuff and all my 100 megabit devices. So basically my NAE for my PLC, my IPMI from my server, and that's about it. And then of course the 100 meg link from my 1 gig switch to all one. How I ended up with this 100 megabit switch is basically Oscar had that 100 megabit switch for a period because I think he got it for free or whatever. Then he upgraded to a new Cisco switch. Then Jan got that 100 megabit 3-com switch. Then he upgraded to a newer 10 gig Cisco switch again, which he got dirt cheap. I'm not even going to mention that. We could say it's a 68,000 Norwegian krone switch. He got it for 500. Yeah, we don't speak about that. But anywho, he then has that switch, so then Jan took over the switch that he had, which was like a 3 something catalyst, whatever, switch, whatnot. And then, well, he didn't have any use for the 3-com switch because it's only 100 megabits. It's not for something he's going to use it for. So basically, I got that switch for free from him again. So it's basically gone down from Oscar to Jan to me. And now it's just in the rack, really just doing all my 100 megabit stuff. So basically, you know, IPMI, stuff like that. If I decide to do some voice over IP stuff, whatnot. So basically any 100 megabit device I have can go through that switch, so that way I can keep my 100 meg switch or my 1 gigabit switch free. And then in between there, that SFP plus switch will go, and then I'll just get like a link cable, like 1 gig link cable, because I think it can negotiate down to 1 gig, and then I'll just use like a hella short, like either probably direct attached copper cable if I can find a short enough one. Either that, or I'll just use SFP to RJ45 module, and then just use like a 30 centimeter patch cable. Well, or an even shorter one, maybe, to just link from the 1 gig SFP plug on my Netgear switch into that MikroTik switch, and then my main computer and all my storage servers will have X520 cards in them, and then that switch will handle the 10 gig connectivity between there, so that way I can do 1.25 gigabit or 1.5 gigabytes a second between my storage servers and my main machine. Granted, at that point I'm going to be limited by the drives, because yeah, my SSDs in there, they only do like 500 whatnot, and as far as my bulk storage is maybe like 300 maybe. So I mean, at that point I'll be limited by the drives, but I'd rather be limited by the drives than limited by my network capability, so that's nice. So yeah, that's really it. Also in the server rack now we have, I have moved my amplifier and my crossover into there, since currently my NX3000D and my Super X Pro crossover, really the only thing they're doing at the moment is handling the crossover for my studio, since I ain't running any active subwoofers. I'm running passive subwoofers. There are two Sub-Zero C12Ss. The only annoying thing about them is that they're 8 ohms, so I can only do like 450 watts per channel while using 3000 watts. So that's kind of annoying. So what I do want to do eventually is get some 4 ohm subs in here. Preferably that goes down to 20 hertz, but most PA subs, they just don't go lower than 40 unless they're like dual 18s. But dual 18s just, although I'd love to get dual 18s from like JBL or Turbo Sound to like use when I'm out doing shows, I just don't have space for dual 18s in here. And yeah, if I'm going to do dual 18s, I'm going to need to put casters on the back of them, because no way in hell am I moving dual 18s, even though they're passive, unless they've done some kind of miracle to make them light as all hell. No way in hell am I dragging around dual 18s without casters. So that's the thing, and then I'm going to need a ramp. So, you know, yeah, we have some work to do right there. So I'll probably need to get a ramp or something for like staircase and whatnot if my new apartment is on the 2nd floor. If I can have it on the 1st floor, that would be ideal. But we have to see how this all goes, you know. Here is the thing, if it is like preferably what I preferably want is one of those like apartments which is like a part of like a house. So it's like a separate apartment, but it's still a part of like a house instead of like a gigantic apartment complex. Because then most of the time soundproofing tends to be kind of good. And that also means that, you know, it's only me and then whomever else is living there. Which means, you know, I'm not gonna have to go drag shit throughout big like hallways and whatnot. It's like, I go to my exit door or to my hallway door and now I'm outside. So that would also be quite ideal. So what I'm hoping to find is at least 70 square meters with at least 2 bedrooms. Because that way I can have, you know, my living room, which is like, well, no, TV, my main gaming setup, whatnot, all of that stuff. But then I can have one of the bedrooms be my server room, and mechanical room, whatnot. And then of course, a pretty decently sized bathroom, kitchen. So yeah, I'm looking for at least 70 square meters, and I'm hoping I can get something that's below 12 grand in rent, because I could probably get some help from Husbanken, probably. They would probably pay for parts of the rent and for some parts of power, because I doubt power will be included. I mean, if power is included, that's great. But the thing is that depending on how we do it with power, either the guy that rents me the apartment is going to be very, very nice and be like, we pay for the power, don't worry about it. Then it would be awesome. But if it's that I gotta pay for how much power I use, which most places do stuff, well, then I'm expecting my power bill to be on at least 2 to 3 grand. Because we could say power usage is like, yeah, power usage, it's pretty heavy here. I mean, here is the thing, I need to get a meter into my, I mean, here is the thing though. I just have one tiny bit of a problem, because here is the thing. I can easily put monitoring into the power cab I have here to monitor like the server rack and what power I'm actually pulling from there. It's a bigger problem with the power I'm pulling on the main course here, because to do that I gotta install out in the hallway cab like a tiny like one-din like measuring boy whatever. So that's a little more pain in the butt. So I have no idea how much power I'm actually using, because there's no meters here. So which is nice because they don't charge me per kilowatt hour, but it's also not too great because I don't know how much power I'm actually using. So when I inevitably has to pay for power, well, then it's going to be a problem. So yeah. So that's the thing. So good shit.
This loop everywhere. That stuff up there is kind of open, but not this stuff. I'm gonna get close to the door.
Oh. So yeah, I guess that's really it as far as an update, I think. So really, as far as future videos goes, I mean, what can I say? There really isn't much planned. I'm currently quote-unquote recording the whole speaker wire install, but everything is going to depend on shit, because either Oscar will stop by, be rather specialist on its way home and buy wire, or when I go to Hågen, if I get that entire deal to work out, to record a video on the X32 like AS50 ordeal, then I can just slip over there and just quickly pick up, because it's close by, and then just pick up speaker wire myself. So depending on that, it's going to depend on, you know, how fast I get that entire ordeal sorted out. But there again, I also need 2 more XLR cables in order to run, you know, signal over there. I did come out after the fact, and after not thinking, I came up with the inglorious fact of doing Dante, but no, that would probably be more expensive. So really, in the end of the day, just doing copper is, or just doing analog, I guess, cheaper anyways. So good shit. So good. Oh, so good shit. Good shit. So that video I am working on. Then there will be coming a video probably when we run that last piece of wire, because I don't remember if I really edited that video. So I think I'm just gonna record more and add on to that video and then just make that, you know, whatever. The completion of that whole deal, but I need to buy trunking to do that, so good shit. So that's really where we are. There will be some videos regarding the car, probably, like the steering wheel angle sensor or stuff like that, the trailer hitch, maybe, whatnot. As far as the gaming channel go, not really update to really have here, but as far as the gaming channel go, I have been trying to get kind of back into it. I did stream a fair amount this weekend. I did stream on Friday. Oh, well, Friday into Saturday, but ended up being Friday stream, you know, because Degen hours. So I streamed VR chat or Black Ops 6, the beta, on Friday, and VR chat I did. And then I was gonna stream on Saturday, but that didn't happen because I got busy editing videos and stuff. And then I did stream, technically speaking, Sunday stream, but I ended up going so far into Monday that it ended up being both Sunday stream and Monday stream. Technically, I started streaming on Monday, so technically speaking, it would only be Monday stream, but because DJ hours, woo! It's both Sunday and Monday stream. So basically, yesterday I started off by streaming some Beat Saber, and then while we were waiting for DCS to download, we were in VR chat and played around the VR chat a bit, and then I was going to play DCS in VR, but DCS kept crashing and not working properly, so yeah, that didn't end up happening. So what actually ended up happening was us playing my custom Minecraft mod pack versus mod pack I put together, which I have been planning to put out on CurseForge, so that way you guys also can play it, but I still have a few tweaks and stuff to sort out, and I need to have those sorted out and have a proper description and stuff in place before Curse will let me actually release it there. So yeah, so for now, really, the only way for you guys really to play this, download and, well, add the pack manually. So good shit. So yeah, so really, so I am trying to get back into streaming now. Of course, once we get to November, shit will dab down again because of the whole moving thing, but I keep waiting too long with drinking my coffee. God dang it. So really, it will dab down again because of the moving and stuff. Oh, that's coffee. Because of the whole moving and stuff. And as I've said previously, when I did the update video on my gaming channel, because of the whole situation with the steering wheel and stuff, and that we don't have the bracket and stuff sorted out, because of that, there's currently not any Euro truck or American truck being recorded. The same with farming sim really, because I don't really have a wheel to do farming with. I will maybe do a few videos where I just use controller, because I wanted to get a few videos done on the Canadian production map, whatever, or the Canadian fucking Saskatchewan map, whatever, that we did start. I do have a video of that, like, way back, like, what, before New Year's? I don't even remember. Because I want to try and get some videos done on that, because we do have Farming Sim 25 that is releasing this year in November. So I don't know, I will probably start a series on 25, but I will probably also keep a series on 22 running, and heck with it. There will maybe even be a 2019 FS 2019 series going as well, because I wanted to do a complete series on the Millennium Farmer map, and I did talk with, I don't know if it was, I don't remember, it wasn't Perma, but it was Mappers Paradise, was it? Well, one of the FS map creators that created the Millennium Farmer map for FS 19. I did talk with him for a while ago, and he said he was thinking about moving the Millennium Farmer map over to 22 eventually. But yeah, I didn't hear anything back from him. I did ask him again if there was any updates, but I didn't hear anything from him then either. So yeah, I don't know if we will ever get. I haven't checked in a long while though, but I doubt there's a Millennium Farmer 2022 map. And I doubt there'll be a 2025. So if anything, if I want a 22 version, I gotta go into Giants Editor myself and convert it over to 22. Or 25 for that matter, and I think it's gonna be easier to convert it to 22 to begin with, and then to convert it to 25, going directly from Giants Editor for 2019 directly up to Giants Editor for 25. It's going to be kind of me, and besides, I doubt Giants Editor for 25, well, I mean, I'd certainly hope so, because they're using Giants Editor to do the stuff, but because it's like their whole own fucking ecosystem or whatever. And but yeah, so then we will have access to Giants Editor 425, God knows. And may I add that I have not been in Giants Editor since late Farming Sim 17, early Farming Sim 2019. So I haven't done jack shit in Giants Editor in ages. And well, I have a behind the scenes modding DVD for Farming Sim 17. So I do have some basic stuff I can go based off to start working in Giants Editor, but there's probably come a lot of new features and things in 17, which means a lot of that probably doesn't, it probably doesn't have any correlation anymore. If that's even a word, so good shit. On Wednesday, Satisfactory. I'm still gonna try and do Satisfactory. I will probably record some videos maybe today. I don't know. The first thing I'm gonna do now after I'm done with stream is go into the server and take check how the core is going along, which is probably done now. I hope that it hasn't spilled anything. Either that or it's ran out of power, but it shouldn't have ran out of power because I feel that thing's smock full of yellorium, so hopefully it's alive still. And then after that, I'll maybe then jump into Satisfactory, then record 2 Satisfactory videos, just quickly edit them, get them exported. And then I'll probably jump into Black Ops 6, grind a bit. Although one thing I'll probably do before I do Satisfactory and before I do Black Ops, after I've checked the server and the query and sorted all that out, is try and do something about my accounting, because I've neglected my accounting. I don't know if I talked about this earlier in the stream, I just don't remember. I think that was something I recorded for the video, but basically there just isn't any. I've been doing accounting on paper for the longest period of time. I've been doing accounting on paper since, when did I start doing it? I think it was like 17, 18 maybe, where I started doing accounting. before I even was 18 and started having constant income from like social support or whatever. And then I did do it pretty actively. I did until I moved, and then I moved, and then I neglected my entire accounting sheet until the end of the first year after I moved. So like halfway into 22, I started getting back into the accounting, and then it went like until like the beginning of 23, and then it got neglected again. And then like halfway through 23, we, got back on track with it again, and then half-ass into 2024, it got neglected again. So yeah, and I've been trying to look for digital solutions for it, but there just ain't really any good free solutions out there, digital solution that is that great. There may be some paid ones that I could maybe try, but really if you're gonna have something proper and that's customizable enough, you need a business solution. And I don't want to sit here and pay like $2,000 a month for a business accounting solution, so good shit. I mean, I have been using Splitwise for now. I have, but it just ain't that customizable, so we're really at the point where it's almost like I gotta develop my own accounting software in like JavaScript or fucking C++. Node.js, probably. Either that or do some HTML shit, but doing some HTML stuff, even doing HTML and then doing the CSS, I gotta do JavaScript on top of there to actually get it to work, so, that's the whole thing. So probably what I'll do first now is go check the server, check all of that stuff, then after I've done that, do the accounting. Then after I'm done with the accounting, then I'll probably record some Satisfactory, then edit that, then I'll do Black Ops 6, and then after I've done some Black Ops 6, I'll probably start streaming and then start grinding, flipping Honkai, I guess. So yeah, it's gonna be a busy day, so yeah. So really, I think that's really it for this stream. I've been streaming now for almost 1.5 hours. I think that will do it as far as for a update stream. So that was it. Thanks for watching the stream. As always, you can find my other socials down below. And for VOD Gang, thanks for watching the VOD. If you like the stream and the updates, I would be really appreciated. And as I said, check out links down below for my other socials, my other channels and stuff like that. And other than that, I'll see all of you later.